Hi. Today, it is common to see interracial marriages or couples when you go out in public, but that wasn't always the case. So I'll be giving you an insight into the struggles that interracial couples have faced in the past, how it has grown to be accepted by society, and some of the effects that come along with interracial marriages. First, the U.S. had more laws policing interracial marriages between black and white partners compared to any other racial pairings. In 1967, 3 years after the 1964 Civil Rights Act, 16 states still had anti-miscegenation laws banning the marriage between blacks and whites. However, this was all changed by the Lovings, Mildred and Richard Loving. By the Lovings, Mildred and Richard Loving were an interracial couple from Virginia who married in 1958 and were later charged for breaking Virginia's law that banned their marriage. Their case was taken to the Supreme Court, where it was decided that Virginia's prevention of their marriage, based solely on their race, violated the equal protection and due process clauses of the 14th Amendment. So in turn, the Loving vs. Virginia case made interracial marriages legal nationwide. And although they were now legal, interracial marriages were still rare and frowned upon. Now, living in the 21st century, many things have changed since the 60s. The 2010 census showed that interracial and interethnic married couples grew by 28% over the past decade. This data proves how we are progressing into a more multicultural and integrated society. Because along with this new evidence, interracial marriages have become more accepted. In July of 2013, the Gallup poll shows that 87% of Americans approve of marriage between races versus only 4% in 1958. This graph is from the Gallup poll and shows over the span of 55 years, the approval has continued to increase clearly throughout the U.S. The jump in approval ratings is huge. However, 13% of Americans still don't approve of it. The group that mainly doesn't approve of interracial marriages are older people ranging over the age of 65, and they have a hard time adapting to present times and how much younger people accept interracial marriages and other things, which is shown by this bar graph. Older people do not approve of it, while younger people clearly have a higher rating of approval. It's one person that can relate to growing up in an interracial family is my girlfriend. She relates to it because her grandma, her mom's side is white, and she thought that Allie would have a hard time growing up because she was half Chinese and had a hard time making friends, but she was just ignorant to the fact that it wasn't hard, and our society definitely approves biracial kids more these days. So in addition to criticism and skepticism from others, biracial children can face other effects such as not knowing where they belong and also just finding their true identity within themselves. But on the other hand, there are many advantages of having a biracial kid. You can show them to become more culturally accepted or learn more about two different cultures rather than just one culture, which I think is very cool as well. Allie, my girlfriend, she was very exposed to both sides. Her dad's side, being Chinese, was very more passive and definitely quieter, while her mom's side was louder and had a more direct way of communicating with people. So it was very different, but she learned to adapt to both when she was at family gatherings. So now I finally shared some of the history and some of the struggles people faced in the past, and I hope people today can appreciate interracial marriages and couples more, and hopefully we can continue to grow as a country and as a society and become more accepting of people. Thank you.